right, so some follow-up for the CV link overheads. So this is what we came up with what I came up with for the LEDs. So I sent over some files for some 090. You're going to get 4 corners. You probably already saw this PDF here. So we already did A4 as the tester, and then we have A1, and then we'll have B4 and B1. So using the layout, when you go to put it on your table or whatever, it's not that there's a top and a bottom, but there is. So you have, left, left, left facing, up as you read it. So basically the bottom left corner will be for A4, and then for A1, it'll be the top left corner. As you have it on your table there, all the rights are on one side, all the lefts are on the other. So up here and down here, and then the opposite on the right side for B1, and then down here for B4 on the right side. So the idea is that this is just going to tuck to the face, but it's going to tuck underneath the 1.5" flange, and you're just going to clamp it, bring it forward, and then you can tack it here, clean it up. You can reach inside, tack it inside, but basically that's going to self-center right above where a normal hangy guy would be. So we're eliminating one of the hangies. So on A4, if you already have a riv nut there, what you're going to want to do for A4 to catch it up is go ahead and drill that one out. The bottom, the A4 left, it's going to be the bottom one down here. That matches where that goes. And you can use the riv nut hole as your starter for your hole saw. Wake up a 2.5 hole saw and go ahead and just cut that out. And clean it up real nice, so it's safe because you're going to reach up into the J boxes. So then once you have everything tacked in, that's pretty much it. That's all we got to do to catch up. And then I went ahead and sent over the panels. So the rest of the panels, A1, B1, and B4, will have these guys here. Look for that. And they'll already have the hole in there for the electrical. So the PDFs, though, that they gave are kind of cruddy. So we're going to have to wait for the actual light fixtures to show up. But this is all I have for install instructions. And it's kind of unclear whether or not the octagonal hole, this guy here. Now, I ordered these up. I do have a confirmation email from McNasty Carp. So you should see those today. They should be there already. So look for those. You should have 4 octagonal boxes like that. And then what I did is I went ahead and gave you 4 holes. So that way, if depending on which knockout they're going to want to use, whether they use, I don't know, if it's going to be 1/2" trade or 3/4 trade, each of these has a bigger and a smaller, you got 3/4 trade here and 1/2" trade there. So they can take this and kind of go 90 with it. That's why I went ahead and put 4 holes in it. So that way you can kind of turn it 90 to get the whatever they want. So back to this though, it says that you mount directly to ceiling, but you're using the hardware to do that? I don't know. This isn't drawn to scale, but I'm thinking because it says attach housing directly to the surface over 4" standard octagonal box, which is what we got, using sufficient hardware by others. So the fact that they don't give you hardware, I'm wondering though if this actually does line up, because this is 11 inches and this is only like 3.5. But if this is not to scale, I'm wondering if these through holes actually sandwich this to this. I don't know. So with that being said, I don't know if you need to drill holes in the actual panels because, like I said, I don't have any way of knowing how to mount because they're not giving me any clear instruction as far as how these mount. So when you get the lights and you put them over the 2.5 and you line them up, see where those hole things are. I'm not sure if those holes are actually meant to grab the actual J-box holes, at which point you'll be kind of sandwiching them. That might mean that, so So the way I thought this would go together is the actual, you'll use the included holes here to just mount the box directly to this 09 thing. And then you would use a sufficiently thin fastener, maybe like those trim cap screws, or like the ones that Install uses, those real flat, wide Phillips head self-tappers, or like countersink some number 6 screws or something. I don't know. But if they want to use these holes to actually mount the actual like luminaire, then that means that this needs to be mounted somehow other than that directly to this. So that way the electrical guys, because the idea is we want this put in place, and then the electrical guys can run their stuff over, hook it up, have wires, and then bring the panel up, preferably with the actual light already on it, and then put it up in there, wire it up, and then they can just screw on the actual, like this part. So you unscrew this part, you put the backer on there, that covers everything up. But again, this just says mount directly to ceiling. So if that's the case, then you mount the box with the screws to the crossbar, and then go ahead and mount and drill separately holes, probably like this, so it doesn't interfere, because we don't want it to interfere with this. So if those holes are like, you know, then you would drill here and here and mount that thing separately. Then that's great. That's what I'm thinking, is the box gets mounted to this part if this guy doesn't actually mount directly to the box. It says mount directly to ceiling. So I don't know, but if they mean that this just pushes against the ceiling, but you're using these two to grab these, even though it's not to scale, maybe they want you to use that. I don't know. So you're going to have to kind of figure that out. But hopefully we can just take these boxes, mount them directly to this with a thin to win type of hardware. That way it doesn't interfere with this. And then when the lights come in, you're just going to have to line them up and then give them 2 holes, I think diagonally here, give them 2 holes and then give them hardware, because they're nice enough to not include hardware by others. Thanks a lot. And then give them some like number 8s or something, and then put them in a baggie. But like I said, if this thing is coming and it wants to attach directly to this, then perhaps you need to, I don't know, figure out something that works. So anyway, that's all up. Just a heads up on that. We'll blow up that bridge when we get to it, depending on how this thing actually mounts with this little bit of info we have. So anyway, but that's it. So if you have any questions, though, hit me up. If there are any concerns, anything like that, we'll figure it out. Anyway, good luck. We're all counting on you. Check the